Have 4 linemen that are going to rush and 6 defensive backs. There's only 1 linebacker, Chris Herring, number 49. It's the option because everybody's downfield covering. There's nobody for the quarterback. They overplayed the pitch, which you got to do if you got the option between Phil Cox and Owens running the football. Chris Herring finally comes over as the only linebacker to make the tackle.
Phil Cox has really grown in leaps and bounds since the second game of the season when he was pulled out against Ohio State.
And the good thing there, Denny, is the next time will they bring the dime in again. Syracuse, I mean, that's a big play for Syracuse. If you can keep them out of those specialty defenses where they're blitzing, where they're putting a lot of pressure on you, where they have the people they want in the game because you can defeat them, then you're up on, you're a page up on what West Virginia wants to do.
Both teams have had long, sustained drives now. West Virginia made theirs pay off. Craig Taylor with the touchdown. First down and 10.
Unbalanced line now.
Quick pitch to Owens. Turns it inside, squares up, and is near the 15.
They brought in Andrew Dees, number 86, who's a freshman, but he's 6'7", 242 pounds. They lined him up at the weak tight end and motioned him over to the strong side. So they had an extra blocker, which opened up. He was able to kick the defensive back out, and Owens had a good gap to run.
Well, we've got an injured player down on the field. We'll be back in just a moment. It's West Virginia 7, Syracuse nothing.
Unfortunately for Syracuse, the Orangeman drive was cut short when Todd Philcox fumbled on the 1-foot line. However, Syracuse did get on the board halfway through the second quarter on a 43-yard field goal by Kevin J. Green. So now, with the score 7-3 in favor of West Virginia, we pick up the action late in the first half. The Mountaineers are driving, and they have the ball on the Syracuse 34, 2nd down and 4, after an Orangeman fumble.
Harris, oh, look at this play. Fake to the fullback. He takes off on his own inside the 25 to about the 22.
His biggest plays have been the designed broken play. The quarterback counters off the option. They fake the option going to the left. Now he stops. Now watch, he just comes right back. See the linebacker, number 55, Dan Busey, go with the flow. That vacates the hole back to the weak side. All Major Harris does is turn one way, turn back the other, and run.
Calvin Phillips and Grannis Bell split out to the left. Fullback fumbled the ball. Syracuse on top of it, and turnabout is fair play. As Wooden comes up with a fumble recovery, and both teams have driven the ball here in the first half, Stan, but they've had trouble hanging on.
And how many times do you get to the big game and you see turnover after turnover? You're expecting a shootout, and all you do is the fullback wasn't even expecting a handoff. Somebody blew the play. Major Harris tried to give it to the fullback, and he wasn't even looking for the football. He did not even put his arm up. He was running to make a block. Now somebody blew that. I don't know if it was Harris or the fullback. You have to think he's a fullback because Harris called the play. That's not always the case. I've seen the quarterback go to hand off to the wrong man before.
First fumble recovery of the season for Terry Wooden. Phil Cox on the delay. Johnson across the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
Under 2 minutes to play. If you're Dick McPherson, are you trying for more points?
Right here's all the way from the snap. This is Phil Cox on the little delay up the middle to Darrell Johnson. You see he broke the middle of the West Virginia defense, a little quick trap, and you give him the ball, he can run inside. He's a great runner from tackle to tackle.
First and 10, Phil Cox. Over the middle, and this one is picked off. Back inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Theron Ellis, who is really having the game of his life here this evening.
And they're looking for Darrell Johnson over the middle. We talked about Ellis, his great athletic ability. They moved him inside. The officials are discussing something at this point.
Got a face mask on the defense, starting to run back. 5-yard penalty. 5 yards.
It's going to move it even closer, but Phil Cox does not see Theron Ellis. Watch him come from the right side of your screen. He's looking at Johnson come over the middle. He hooks over. He throws it as he breaks, but he threw it to where he was going. If he had threw it to where Johnson was, it probably would have been completed. At least it would not have been intercepted. A bad read by Philcox. It was a zone, and he hooked up.
And for those of you who have just finished up watching USC and UCLA, we've got a good one here in Morgantown, West Virginia. 7-3. The Mountaineers on top. They've got the football. Slashing run inside the 5-yard line. Down near the goal line is A.B. Brown. Yards on the carry that time for Brown.
Face mask on the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Just power football after power football, Denny. Just off-tackle play. Just like on the first drive, they hit the gap, and there's the 10, 15 yards before you know it.
1:14 left in the first half. And it's Taylor over for the touchdown, his second here of the evening.
See, Dick McPherson's over rallying his troops, saying it's not over, don't get down. They came back last year. We can come back this year.
Bowman in to try the extra point. And the Mountaineers bounce back. It's now 14-3 with 1:07 left here before the halftime intermission. Just about ready here for the start of half number 2 in Morgantown, West Virginia. Mountaineers on top 14-3, and one gets the feeling, Stan, that they can almost smell that undefeated season.
Well, they have to be getting close to it anyhow. Obviously, they got a half. They're up 11 points going into the second half. They know they got the Fiesta Bowl ahead of them with Notre Dame. Three things had to happen for the national championship. Notre Dame had to win today. They did. West Virginia has to win today. They're ahead 14-3, and Notre Dame's got to beat USC next week to get that big matchup. So obviously West Virginia hopes to win the second half, win the game, and root like heck for Notre Dame next week against USC.
Well, like Bino just said, everyone will be rooting for the Irish.
I don't know about the West Coast.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Oh my, almost touched it at the 5. The second back, a deep back, will bring it across the 20 out to about the 25-yard line. 23-yard return. Well, let's take a look at the numbers after the first 30 minutes of play.
As you go down, you'll see they are very similar for both teams. Total yardage, only 18 yards difference. In fact, Syracuse has more yardage, but look at that. 4 turnovers. Every game is decided by big plays, and there's no bigger play than a turnover. You got 4 of them against you. You're going to be down. You're lucky to only be down by 11.
So West Virginia opens up on offense here in half number 2. Major Harris with the controls one more time. Quick dive play to Craig Taylor for about 4 yards. Now let's head down to the sidelines to John Snyder.
All right, thank you very much, Denny. Darryl Whitmore, who is a starting defensive back for West Virginia, fractured his ankle in the first half. Obviously, he's out for the rest of the game. Both coaches agree that West Virginia is a little bit lucky to be leading in this game. They felt it was a fairly even game except for the turnovers, and Dick McPherson told me, he said they've got to make their breaks in the second half.
Calvin Phillips and Reggie Rembrandt split out wide to the left. Second down play. On the option, there's the pitch. A.B. Brown breaks the corner past the perimeter and nearly took that one the distance.
Good blocking again on the perimeter. The pitch man was blocked out of bounds by the wide receiver. If you can get the loaded man blocked, watch as they go down the line of scrimmage. They're going to take away. Freiberg's just waiting for Major Harris. See on the outside, Craig Taylor, the fullback, made a good block on the defensive back, number 38, David Holmes. That opened it up for the running back on the pitch.
8 yards on the carry. First down and 10. Rembrandt in motion this time for the Mountaineers. to the fullback. Harris stops, jukes, gets wrapped up as he crosses the 45, I should say, out to about the 47.
Again, good pursuit, this time from the backside. Keith Freiberg, who was all the way on the outside, on the backside of the play, took the right angle. He just sunk down right there on the line of scrimmage and caught Major Harris from behind. That's a play where you can really cause a fumble. You can get your arm and swing through the football from behind and pop it out. But with Major Harris, you're just hoping to get him down.
Major Harris has averaged better than 5.5 yards a carry thus far in his 2-year career here at West Virginia. 2nd down and 6. Reverse on the option, thinks about it a moment. And this one is loose and finally out of bounds. So maybe the decision that time by the sophomore, not quite what he wanted.
Yeah, that's one of the poorest decisions you'll ever see an option quarterback make. He pitched real late, and the man he was pitching to was already knocked down by Chris Ingham. Watch this again. Which way they want him to run? East and west. Down the line of scrimmage. Don't turn up. Now watch this late pitch. There's not even a man there. He's already knocked down. And they will see him. They'll see Chris Ingham had already knocked the man down. If he would have been able to watch the football, we'll see Chris Ingham come up right here, knock the pitch man down. He should have never thrown that football. Luckily, it went out of bounds.
3rd and 8 with trip receivers out.
His formation.
There he goes. He's on the sprint across midfield. Oh, over the top he goes and ends up at about the 42-yard line. Chris Ingham in on the tackle, but Harris that time went airborne.
Why they line up at anything else sometimes, I wonder. This spreads the defense out and creates all these gaps for Harris to take advantage of, either throwing or running. You see, there's only 4 men rushing, and those aren't guys that can make tackles on Major Harris. He just gets into the secondary, uses his great running ability to make big yardage. I'd stay in that formation all day.
14 yards on that carry for Harris. 1st and 10. Play action. Major sets up. Going for the home run. Rembert down deep. Had it and dropped it at the last moment. Great coverage that time in the secondary, and that was a near touchdown.
Well, that's the type of play that Rembert's been making all year. And he had the position to make the catch because he kept his body between him and the defensive back. Ingram really gets lucky sticking his hand in here and hitting the football. But watch Rembert use his body to block off Ingram. He's between him and the ball. Ingram just comes up and knocks the ball away. Luckily, he didn't come down with that football because he had better position than the defensive back did.
2nd down now and 10. Harris that time wanted it all. Mountaineers lead 14-3. A.B. Brown stacked up at about the 41 after a short gain. David Bavaro, the first to meet him.
Now they'll probably come back to the 3 wide receivers. And one thing you got to talk about from Syracuse's standpoint, they're missing their nickel back. Jeff Buskirk was hurt yesterday in a drill recovering an onside kick with no pads on. He went down to recover it, separated his shoulder. He's a 5th-year senior, and that hurts their nickel coverage, especially against this formation with all the wide receivers.
Harris going to sprint out left, sets up, now looks back the other way, has all day. Now he's flushed out of the pocket across the 36, near the 35, but that's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Rob Burnett in on the tackle.
4th down territory. It'd be an awful long field goal. It'd be over 50 yards, but they're sending out a kicking unit. It's the punter coming out. You almost think Suit line up in that same formation, go back to pass. If a short one's open, throw it. If not, let him scramble for the first down.
Lance Carrion on to punt. Chris Ingram back deep inside his 10. Pretty good rush. This one's going to float up looking for the corner, but not going to quite get that. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line for Syracuse. We'll take a break here. It's West Virginia 14. And we're back 14-3. Syracuse trailing. They've got the football. They've driven the ball pretty well here thus far this evening, but they've coughed it up on 4 different occasions. Play action. Fake the screen one way, back the other. Darrell Johnston's got some blocking. Clip. Slides down at the 37-yard line, but the yellow flag is out. Well, we talked about the fact that Syracuse has moved the football stand, but they have put it on the ground.
Well, watch those lines show how far they've been able to move the football. But at the end, except one punt, and 1 field goal. The rest of them are turnovers.